Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We're going to do the recap of UFC Fight Night Cannonier versus Borralho. It just took place last night. It is 10:30. The next morning, I was going to do it last night, but there was no point in doing it at 1:30 in the morning because I would just yawn throughout the whole thing. So we're going to start with the prelims. We're going to end with the main card. If you guys enjoyed, drop a sub, drop a like. I streamed the whole thing on Saturday night. Had a couple guys hang out the whole time. It was a really good time, guys. If you want to be there next time, tune in on Saturday. I'm always there. Tuesday, I probably will be doing Contender Series. Tuesday or Wednesday, I will have the next predictions video. And Thursday or Friday, I might have a new segment for the week. It might be the last 10 or last 5 days of MMA news condensed down in 10 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm doing it yet, but maybe. We'll think about it. We're going to start now. We got the first in the prelims, Kong Wang versus Victoria Leonardo. And I was pretty sure Kong Wang was going to come in here and starch the shit out of Victoria Leonardo. Yeah, she did. She knocked her out with a 1-2. The 2 snapped her head back, and Kong Wang gave a little Joker celebration in the end. Haha, ta-da. And yeah, she looks insane. Her tape didn't lie. She looks like a fucking world beater. She definitely is the new up-and-comer up in strawweight. Or fly, what is it for women? Flyweight? Yeah, flyweight at 125. Kong looked really impressive. There isn't too much to talk about since it was only a 1-minute fight. Kong just very aggressive, very, very good with the movement. She was popping in and out, in and out. Victoria had already gotten pieced by a couple shots already. You kind of had a feeling it was coming, and Wang just fucking took her out. I thought it was really good. It was a walk-off KO. It was really nasty. Hopefully she fights soon. She didn't really get a touch on her, so I don't expect her to be fighting in the next couple weeks. She might take up a short notice fight just because of that, but she literally took no damage. I don't think she even took a shot. We're going to go next in the prelims. We have Josiane Nunes versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. I went Josiane Nunes just because I thought she was going to have the forward pressure. I thought she was going to be able to overwhelm Cavalcanti. I thought she was going to be able to put, no break. She's just going to walk her down, and this is the type of fight Nunes likes. She likes being on the feet. She likes being able to walk people down and try and gas them out, seeing as she literally never stops. She continuously always walks forward with the forward pressure. It was a close fight. I thought it could have gone 29-28 either way. Jacqueline Cavalcanti probably should have won the fight, but Josiane Nunes wasn't no bitch. She pushed down the pressure. She looked half decent in the fight. It's just, I think the bigger shots came from Cavalcanti when she was a lot more calculated in the first round, and the second round was also close, but Nunes just kind of overtook it after that. But I can see a split decision. But Josiane Nunes just has a big, tough problem because of the 6 inches disparity in height. It's giving her constant problems in every single fight she has, especially with girls who are that same height. It's like Zara Farron. It seems to be that the girls are too lanky for her, and they're able to pop down at her while she has to run all the way in order to get anything done. And it's just, if she fights anyone with like half a brain, they're just going to back up and pop her every single time she blitzes in, especially because she's so tiny. So she just needs to be careful of that, but it was a decent win for Jacqueline Cavalcanti, but it was a pretty good fight. I really enjoyed it, and for women's MMA, I mean, everyone talks shit about it. That was a pretty damn good fight. Next on the prelims, we have Vyacheslav Borshev, Slavaklaus versus James Iontop. I went Borshev by knockout. I thought he was going to be able to take out James, especially because it's a pure stand-up war. He turned James into a grappler in the end of the second round after cracking him with some nice shots. It might have been the end of the second round or end of the third round. I can't fully remember. But Slava did it was nice. I don't think it was a split. I mean, the split decision didn't make sense to me. I thought Borshev won at least 2 of the rounds. I thought he won round 1 and probably 2. I thought he lost round 3 pretty clearly. One of the judges gave him 30-27, which is an absolute joke. I didn't think Borshev won that third round at all. James was coming on, and he was finding his rhythm. He was really popping shots at Borshev. But Vyacheslav Borshev did end up with the win. It was a split decision. James looked okay. He didn't look as shit as I thought he was going to look, especially after that loss over Chris Padilla. I thought that was a really good fraud check, and I thought James was just going to falter under the lights. But, he didn't. He looked okay. The first round, he did get beat up a little bit. He did get hurt, but the end of the second round, the third round, he was coming on to his own. I think Borshev was getting tired. And, the split decision, again, it doesn't make sense to me, but I thought James only won round 3, but again, really good fight either way. Borralho definitely going to get knocked out next time around against someone who with half a brain, but Borralho is definitely going to be a journeyman. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the top 30. I think he's just going to sit down there and fight guys that have no business being in the UFC. James does have business to be in the UFC, I think, but he's just not the... If you can't beat Borralho, bro, you might need to go back to the regional scene. Zach Reese versus Jose Medina next on the prelims. I had Zachary Reese by... what did I say? I feel like I might have said decision or submission. I thought Jose Medina was going to be able to get through the first round. And that's kind of where the problems start for Zach Reese, because Zachary Reese doesn't deal well with those long fights, dude. Seeing as he's never had them. And you could see it. He was starting to get gassed in that second and third round. But I think it's the lack of fight IQ on Jose Medina that got him the victory. It was a little... It was a really good win for Zach Reese. I mean, he was able to show some more of his skills. He was able to go into deeper rounds, able to mix up the targets, able to keep Medina on his toes. It's just... Medina is just a fucking terrible fighter. He's just he's gritty. He's able to take some punishment. He did nothing with it. Like, even though when he had the ability to do something, throw a 1-2, he had Zachary Reese in the corner, hands down. Jose didn't throw anything. So I think it's a bad win for Zach, just because he probably should have been able to finish him. But prospect, getting KO'd wall. But I like the side of Zach Reese. I just think Jose Medina, the plus 300 line, good, but Zach Reese is just a different level of whatever. Versus Francis. Yeah, I didn't even say anything. Sorry, I was checking the old video, just seeing what I said. I didn't give a method of victory. I really thought it was going to be submission or decision. Zachary Reese, he is incredibly good in the first round, but after that Gadzia Sulov fight that Medina had, that he can take some punishment. So, should have been an obvious line to see. I mean, over 2.5 was plus 380. It was, anyone should have taken that. Next in the prelims, we have the final. We were supposed to have Ramskad versus Nathan Fletcher. It was canceled literally 5 seconds into the fight night due to a medical issue on the side of Nathan Fletcher, I believe. I think he fucked up his leg during TUF, and this is coming back to bite him in the ass right now. So they should be fighting in a couple weeks, but other than that, let's move on to the end of the prelims. Francis Marshall versus Denis Bajukja. I had Francis Marshall by decision. Exactly what happened. It was a really good fight. I thought Francis Marshall won rounds 1 and 2. I thought Dennis won round 3. Francis started to fall apart in that third round. Dennis was popping him with clean shots. He was really getting the better of him. But Francis Marshall, the first 2 rounds. The first round, absolute maul. He had him against the cage for the first 4 minutes. With like a minute left, they push off, trade shots. Francis wins the round. Second round, they put a cut on Dennis's face. I think it was a cut. And he was bleeding a little bit right before the end of the round. And I thought Francis won that round. He landed the bigger shots. He just looked better. So those are 2 rounds. And now you have a split decision again. And I'm not sure what they're giving. Maybe they gave the first round to Dennis because they didn't like the fact that Francis held him against the cage for so long. And Dennis came back with a nice shot. But you can't do that, dude. He held him for 4 minutes. If he really wanted to, he'd be sitting there the whole time. So... I don't understand the round for Denis Bajukja. Francis Marshall looked very clean. He looked like he definitely had fought the better opposition. When he was in there in the first and second round, he looked like he was mixing up incredibly well. He looked like his hands were equal to that of Dennis, even though, Dennis has more knockouts than him. He has like 5 out of 6 knockouts, and Francis has 4 out of 5 submissions or something like that. It's just... I don't know, man. I think Francis's gas tank is a little bit on the rough side. I think he started to gas out the end of the second round and the third round there. His corner was telling him to calm down and that not to overextend and to keep it clean. And Francis didn't listen in that third round. He started getting really gassed, breathing really heavy, bleeding out of that nose. But I think he will be able to fight someone of half decent stature inside lightweight. The fight against Dennis was actually really good. He showed his skills. He showed improvement. But a split decision over a guy who got knocked out by Jamal Emmers is kind of shit. I was hoping Francis was going to be able to get him to the ground and submit him. He has done that quite often. But it just didn't, it wasn't meant to be. I was able to take the side of over 2.5. I was also able to take the side of Francis Marshall. I sprinkled some money on submission just in case he was able to get it. Didn't get it. That's okay. But incredible win by Francis Marshall. I'm sure he will be back. Probably by February. He looked really decent. I just don't know who they're going to match him up with next. I mean, it was a tough fought fight. And for a guy who has split decisions over William Gomis and a loss over Isaac Delgarian, it's kind of, I mean, Dennis Bajukja is really good. It's just, I really thought he was going to be able to have a lot easier time with Dennis than he did. Next on the main card, we have, start of the main card, we have Gerald Meerschaert versus Edmund Shabazian. I had Meerschaert by sub. It's exactly what happened. Meerschaert took him to deep waters. I had over 1.5 rounds in this fight at plus 115 as well for the betting side. Gerald Meerschaert was able to walk down Edmund Shabazian in the second round, basically. No, just kidding. Edmund Shabazian literally landed like everything. Everything. He literally landed everything. He landed big shots in the first round. Gerald looked super labored. Landed big shots at the end of the first round. Gerald looked hurt. Landed big shots in the second round. I'm not sure if it was in the second round or if it was in the first round where Gerald got dropped. But Gerald got dropped bad, and he was big elbows from the side of Edmund Shabazian. Big elbows. He was landing incredible shots. Let's see here. I just want to see what time it was in the fight. I'm not sure.
And that's what tripped him. This could be strolls away.
Oh, sorry, it wasn't elbow. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Caio Borralho fight. That's why I had to look. It was ground and pound. He clipped him. He dropped him to the ground. Landed nice ground and pound to Gerald Meerschaert in round 2. It was pretty good. He almost finished him, but gave up. I don't know if he gave up because he didn't want to gas himself out, but I feel like Edmund had only a couple more shots till Gerald gave up. He was moving. Gerald Meerschaert was moving, but Edmund probably could have put him out. He landed like everything in the first round. Like, this guy always fumbles victory. It's actually unbelievable. But Gerald Meerschaert, in the end, with 48 seconds left on the clock, in round number 2, submits Edmund Shabazian with an arm triangle that was beautiful. He rotates position, ends up with his head underneath the armpit of Edmund Shabazian. Shabazian tries to go to a hip like a fucking goof, and then Gerald literally just slips his head right under, locks in the arm triangle, and gets over to the side. That's all he had to do. He already had it locked in. He needed to step over. It took him a couple seconds, but as he stepped over, Edmund tapped. I lost my shit. I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. I mean, Gerald Meerschaert, it's incredible. 2 wins in a row. One over a guy who's actually not that bad, who's Edmund Shabazian. Brian Barbereta's trash. But, Edmund Shabazian having some problems. I had someone in my chat tell me last night that, again, I didn't know this. Apparently, Ronda Rousey had endorsed Edmund Shabazian to be the next big thing whenever she left the fucking scene, fighting out of Extreme Couture. Dude, it looks like every time he's in the octagon, the lights just hit him. The lights hit him, and he gets worried. So, I don't know if we're going to be seeing Edmund Shabazian around anymore. It is a rough loss for him. He has had a lot of losses in the last couple of years. He just hasn't been able to get something done. Every time he fights someone with half-decent stature, he loses, and losing to GM3 is pretty rough, man. Especially a guy who, gets knocked out and stuff in one punch sometimes. By Joe Pfeiffer, Hamza Chimaev, that Russian cat. What's his name? Ian Hayashif. Oh, I thought he was Russian. He's not Russian? Motherfucker's from Colorado. How did I think he was Russian? Jesus. Let's do some more research. All right. So what we got for that one. Let's move on. We have Michael Morales versus Neil Magny. I had Neil Magny going the distance. I thought these boys were going to be able to get 2.5 rounds. And Michael Morales ruined my night. He knocked out Neil Magny. Spinning elbow. Cracked Neil Magny. He dropped. Michael Morales gets on top. Plenty of fucking time by the ref. Plenty of time. They gave Neil Magny plenty of time. They gave him 100 different chances to respond. Probably more than that. Didn't get any response. Ref stepped in, stopped the fight, which is fine. I'm not upset at that. I'm more upset at the fact that I just watched the Haitian sensation get knocked out by a dude that couldn't get knocked out by Ian Machado Gary. Okay, Neil Magny is a very, very durable fighter, and it's incredibly unfortunate to watch him get knocked out. I really thought he was going to be able to make it to a decision with Michael Morales, but he just gets hammer fisted out and fucking ground and pounded out. On the side of Michael Morales, incredible display of boxing, incredible display of patience. Whenever Neil Magny went for a takedown, he took his time. He showed that he was well versed in all rounds of MMA. He kept the base, was able to rotate the position, and in rotating the position, rotated his full body and got a spinning elbow. Very good elbow. Landed it like flush, very perfect. At 25 years of age, I'm actually incredibly excited to see what Michael Morales has to offer. I think he's going to be fighting some nasty competition coming up. Neil Magny being the biggest win in his career is incredible at this point. Neil Magny ain't no bitch, right? We all know that he beat Mike Malott last time around with ground and pound when he gassed out. I really thought Neil Magny was going to be able to take the decision. But winning performance of the night bonus is nice. Michael Morales, you know, whatever. I genuinely can't believe Neil Magny got taken out. I mean, he went for the takedown. He had it good. He went for a trip, pushed off, got fucking clipped. I mean, you know, shit happens. It's just really unfortunate. Neil Magny's a really good fighter, really good guy, really enjoyable to watch. Hopefully he comes back stronger. 30, 39, 37, 38. He'll come back at 38. You know, it is a tough one, but he will be back from it. Next on the prelim, or on the main card, we have the Ultimate Fighter Featherweight Championship. We have Marion Santos versus Khan Ofli. Originally I had Marion Santos. I had Santos by knockout. And I changed my mind because I was told that Khan Ofli was a nasty chain wrestler. Marion Santos had lost to Dan Argueta in the LFA due to chain wrestling and then just shots from the ground. And I thought Khan Ofli was going to be able to do the same thing. And on every takedown attempt, Khan Ofli was shucked off. He had just the 6 inches of reach disadvantage really played into this. Marion Santos kept very clean boxing. Like I said, very clean boxing. Was able to stay away, stay very slick. Fucking caught Khan with a nasty shot. He was literally out on his way down. He's on his 2 knees, out cold. Marion Santos grabs his head. Boom. Fucking three or four uppercuts. And then Khan lays flat. He's out cold. Absolutely unreal. Very good win for Marion Santos coming out of the Ultimate Fighter. Just had a kid as well. He's coming out with a vengeance. He was really excited to get that win. He knows that it means a lot for his family. He knows that it means like everything for him at this point. And he showed that he has the improvement, man. He showed that the win over Dan Argueta doesn't mean anything over him. Or the win by Dan Argueta doesn't mean anything to him. It shows that he doesn't care. He's still improving his game, and he didn't let it take anything away from him, which is very good. Because Khan Ofli, again, it's not like he was trash. It's not like he was supposed to get walked through here. It was supposed to be a competitive fight. Just Marion Santos was able to just figure him out. He was able to put him to sleep, and he was able to catch him coming in. With a little bit of a mistake from Khan, just being rushing. He started rushing because I had a feeling that he felt as if he needed to rush in order to get anything done, seeing as every time he took his time, Marion Santos would pop him and move, which, yes, that's what he's supposed to be doing, but if that's your game plan, you can't rush in on a guy who has slick boxing like Santos, bro. He literally slipped to the side and knocked him out. It looked very insane. I think the next fight for Marion Santos will probably be a wrestler. They'll probably give him someone with a little bit more grit than Khan Ofli, a little bit more range. And I think Khan Ofli might be back in the UFC at some point. I just think he needs to work a little bit on his technique. I think he needs to work a little bit on being able to get inside distance with guys who have longer arms than him. And I think he needs to learn how to rush for a double leg, because he went for body locks too often. I'm not sure. Like, obviously he knows how to do a double leg, but I think he needs to practice it like a lot and get really good at it, because he needs to shoot and he's not shooting. He's taking too much of a time trying to look for a trip that he's not going to get against a guy who's keeping base and keeping, pushing on the head and keeping the arms locks away. So good win for Marion Santos. It bothered me a little bit with the uppercuts at the end, but he could have just walked away and got a nasty fucking knockout. It's okay. It happens here in the moment. Ref didn't touch him yet, so you can't hate on him for it at all. Next on the main card, we had Ryan Loder versus Robert Valentin. I had Robert Valentin by knockout. Thought he was going to walk in and starch Ryan Loder. And at the start of the fight, Ryan Loder looked like shit. Ryan Loder looked really, really nervous walking in there. Looked incredibly off-putted. And Loder was able to get a KO. It wasn't really... Like, it's a wrestler's KO, okay? He got him in a crucifix, he sat him there, and Robert wasn't getting out. Robert used the remaining amount of his gas tank trying to explode out of the position of the crucifix, was unable to succeed, and obviously, as you know, as you get tired in the crucifix, you're fucking in it, man. You're in it. You're not getting out. And he lost because of it. But before that, Robert looked okay. He was, having some... very good scrambles on the ground. Both the boys showing the ground position very well. Robert showing his jiu-jitsu. Ryan showing his wrestling. Robert able to rotate some positions. Ryan able to reverse some positions. It was a very, very nice fight. I really thought it was going to go a little bit longer. But Robert getting stuck in that crucifix really fucking shut that short for me. In the grand sea of things... Ryan Loder's not gonna... I don't think he's gonna do well in the UFC. I think he's just... I don't think he has the explosiveness. Like, it's tough, man. I mean, like, watching him come in his other fights, it's a lot different than what I saw last night, right? Ryan Loder came out. He looked really nervous last night. He went for a takedown instantly. He got it. They rotate a lot on the ground with each other, trade shots, and then we go to a second round, and Ryan Loder instantly was able to get it done again in the second round. But it's just when you fight a guy who's not going to let you do that, what do? Right? When you're a wrestler and he's not going to let you wrestle anymore, what happens? And Robert Valentin wasn't the guy to show him that skill, but Ryan Loder is going to find someone with that skill, and I don't think he's going to like that. I think the only guy that's really been able to stuff him and been able to like ruin him is Troy Green. And Troy Green's terrible. He's not that good. And he lost a split decision to him, which I thought he lost a unanimous decision, to be honest. But, like, when you have a guy like that, man, you better hope to God you start improving. At 33 years of age, man, you can't have one-rounded game. He has nice hands. Like, it wasn't super terrible, but he instantly went for the takedowns. He ran at him. When you run at someone like that, bro, if they're a kickboxer or something, he's dropping a knee up the middle. He's dropping a front kick. He's backing away. He's keeping his base, especially if he's, like, half-versed in wrestling, right? Like, you're not going to take down everyone. So, I don't know. It's a good win for Ryan Loder. I just think he needs to improve a little bit on his game. I think that it's going to create some problems for him in the future. Robert Valentin, a lot of aura going into it. Fucking nothing coming out. He looked like shit. Wasn't able to get anything done, wasn't able to throw any shots, wasn't able to, throw power punches. None of it was completely nullified. So it was really unfortunate to see, but a good one for Ryan Loder. The under 2.5 was really nice in that fight to take. Next on the main card, we had the co-main event of the evening. If you guys enjoyed this, drop a like, drop a sub. I'm going to be streaming this on Saturday, and I'm going to be dropping the new predictions on Tuesday or Wednesday. So stick around for that. We have Tabitha Baby Shark Ritchie versus Angela Overkill Hill. I had Hill winning. I thought Hill lost the first round. I thought Hill won round 2 and 3. Unanimous decision for Baby Shark is pathetic. At least give her a split decision. Judges fucking hate Angela Hill, dude. Every time she gets to a decision, she never gets it. Angela Hill 100% wins round 2 and 3. She was landing the better shots. She outlanded Tabitha in both rounds, I believe. She also outlanded her in total strikes throughout the whole fight. I thought Angela Hill had it, man. I think maybe because she looked a little bit more labored in the second and third round, even though she was landing big shots. Maybe that's what got her the loss, but I really thought Angela Hill won this. I will never bet on Tabitha Ritchie ever. I will never think this girl is going anywhere. That's 2 losses in a row she'll have lost. Tisha Pennington arguably won that fight. Split decision over the worst Pennington wife, okay? And then Angela Hill. She literally lost to a 39-year-old, okay? I don't give a fuck when anyone says, you can say I'm a baby. You can say, oh, you're stuck in the past, dude. Angela Hill is 10 years older than her, and she beat her in a 3-round fight, okay? Don't ignore this. Decision unanimous, ignore that. Go watch the fight back. Go watch the fight back. Come back to me. I'm telling you right now, Angela Hill won that fight. Round 1, give it to Tabitha. That's fine. Rounds 2 and 3, come back to me. You come back to me and you tell me why you think that Tabitha Ricci won that fight, and we can have a nice little conversation. I'm sure it'll be very civil, but I no way in fucking hell did Angela Hill lose that fight. I understand the judges never give her decisions. I understand, everything. She's 40 years old almost. Why would they give her a win? Why would they give her a contender spot? Because she fucking won, man. Like, looking that impressive at 40, you should get something for it, Being able to pop a 29-year-old with a fucking hook that makes her snap her head all the way backwards, dude. Like, she literally got popped with, like, she fucking ate a pop, 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 and on both shots, boom, boom, snap back with fucking Ricci. Dude, like, the power is still there for Hill. The consistency is still there for Hill. She just doesn't have the same gas tank. I still think she won. I'm going to stop bitching about it. We're going to move on to the main event of the evening. I'm still pissed off about it, but minus 620 for the over 2.5 on Ricci and Hill hit. So that was really, really obvious. Kyle Borralho versus Jared Cannonier. This fight should have been stopped in the 5th round. 10-8 probably to Kyle. I had a 2-2 going into the 5th round. Jared Cannonier unable to figure it out. He's starting to gas out in that 3rd and 4th round. Kyle Borralho, very clean. Very, very clean. Jared Cannonier was able to piece him up in rounds like 2 and 3. Major cut on the cheek of Kyle Borralho in the 4th round. About right here, right below the eye. He also had major swelling on the eye right here, right below or right above the eyelid. Jared Cannonier probably could have got a stoppage if he started working him in the 5th round, but going into the 5th round, it was 2-2. Kyle Borralho starts the round like up 10 strikes or something, like he fucking hit him a bunch. And then he hits him with a 1-2, and Jared goes down. That sucked a lot to see, actually. Jared was like slept midair. Jared went down. Kyle Borralho gets on top, lays Hellbows from Hellbows. Lays out some of the nastiest ground and pound I've seen in a long time. Doesn't get the stop, which is very fucking, surprising. I really thought Jared Cannonier was going to be able to maybe do something with it, maybe get something going. But no, just after getting 1-2'd and, getting dropped like that, he had nothing left. He wasn't able to put his game plan on anymore in the latter half of the fight. It's just like, it's unfortunate, man. Jared Cannonier, he is 40 years of age. He looked incredibly good in this fight. For 40 years of age, he really made it look like it was just a number coming into that 5th round. But in that 5th round, he just got figured out, man. Kyle Borralho was able to just land the cleaner strikes, was able to land the clean boxing, and basically took Cannonier out. He hit him with a 1-2 from hell, and then just dropped shit on him that probably should have fucking killed Jared Cannonier, to be honest. Kyle Borralho is definitely going to be something very interesting coming up. I just think if he fights someone a little bit better in the striking than Jared Cannonier, I don't think he's making it through. I think he might get knocked out. I think if you fight someone like Izzy, it could be a really good fight. I think it could be really tough. I think Kyle Borralho might abuse the grappling in that sense, but he didn't in this fight. Kyle only shot for 1 takedown very, very late in the fight. Nothing happened with it. It was just more of a stand-up war. But the card was very impressive. It was a very good win for Kyle Borralho. I'm very excited for him in the future. That's all I got for you guys today. We were supposed to have 11 bouts. We only had 10. Missing out on Roman Kopylov and Bruno Ferreira. Also missing out on Zygmantas Ramska versus Nathan Fletcher. Fletcher again with that medical injury. Other than that, guys, that's all I got for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Parlays, I don't think hit. I think we had I had Kong Wang, Borshev, fucking Mearshar. I had over 2.5 rounds. Michael Morales, Neil Magny. Didn't happen. Shit happens. It was a good fight card, though. I got 70% of my predictions here on the Tapology picks. Hit 7 out of 11, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we had 11 fights last night. Okay. I thought we had a little bit less than that. Okay, we had 11 fights last night. I hit 7 out of 11, not too shabby, 66% or whatever it is. It's all right. It's not that great. Yeah. It was a good night though. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the fights. The fights were incredible. I thought it was an incredible display of skill from Michael Morales. That was an incredible display of skill from Ryan Loder. I think it's an incredible display of skill purely because the wrestling was beautiful. All American wrestling, you could tell that he was doing, just fucking ripping him apart. I think Ryan Loder's going to get caught eventually, and I think Michael Morales is going to be the next up and comer, based on what I've seen. That's all I got for you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys all later. Peace.